Hello and welcome to today's class. In this video, we'll be talking about the Infra-phylum Agnathans. In the previous video, we talked about the introduction to vertebrate, that is subphylum Vertebrata, and we mentioned that under vertebrates we can have two, that is either they are Agnathans or they are genatostomes. And I mentioned that Agnathans are jawless fishes, while genatostomes are jawed vertebrates rather. Agnathans are jawless vertebrates, while genatostomes are jawed vertebrates. So today we'll be looking into the Infra-phylum Agnathans, which we won't be talking much about, but we'll be talking about the biology of sea lampreys. So this is what we'll be talking about mostly today. That is the biology of lamprey, which is the representative of what? The representative of the Infra-phylum Agnathans. So let us proceed. Agnathans, from the word ancient Greeks, which is a without and genatos, just is jaws. So we can say they are vertebrates without what? Without jaws. They are jawless fish, and they are characterized by the what? By the lack of jaws. This group consists of both living and extinct class. You understand? Now, out of the living, example of living is a cyclostome, where we'll be talking about the lamprey and the hagfishes. But in this video, what we'll be focusing on the most is the what? Is the sea lampreys. You understand? Now, they have extinct class like the conodonts, the Cephalaspodoph, and other group like that. You understand? Now, they are sister to vertebrates with jaws, which means they are similar to the genatostomes. Both of them evolved from a jawless ancestor, that is during the early Silurian, by developing folding articulation in the first pair of gill arcs. In the next video, we'll be talking about the evolution of jaw. And in this evolution of jaw, we'll be talking about how does jaw originate itself. You understand? How does jaw originate itself? And that is where we know that jaw evolved from the modification of the gill arcs. But for now, let us just focus on the agnathans, which is jawless fishes. Now, in addition to the absence of jaws, modern agnathans are characterized by the absence of paired fins. So they don't have a paired fin, you understand? And in the evolution of jaw as well, we'll be talking about the usefulness of paired fins, you understand? Now, they have notochord, which means notochord persists in both larvae and in adults, and they have 7 or more paired gill pouches. Lampreys have sensitive pineal eyes, and all living and most extinct agnathans do not have identifiable stomach or any appendages. They don't have any appendages, and they don't have identifiable stomach, which means the esophagus leads directly to the intestine, which we will be talking about in the representative of the agnathans, which is the lamprey. Fertilization and development are both external. There are no parental care in agnathans, and they are ectothermic or exothermic, which is they are cold-blooded animals with cartilaginous skeleton and the heart containing 2 chambers. Are you getting me now? They have cartilaginous skeleton, not a bony skeleton, so they have cartilaginous skeleton. And when we get to the skeletal and the locomotion of the agnathans, we'll be talking more about that. And I will also be releasing a video to visualize the lifestyle of the lampreys, which you'll be able to see very well how they spawn, how they reproduce, how they move, how they do a lot of things like that. We'll be talking about that one later. Now, talking about the biology of lampreys. So moving on to the biology of lampreys. Adults of lampreys superficially resemble the eels, and when we say eels, it means they are long, they are slender, and they are cylindrical. So we can say their body is elongated, slender, and cylindrical eel-like body, which can grow up to 100 centimeters, which is the maximum body length to be around 1.2 meter, and 3.9 feet. And we know that if it is 1.2 meter, we are talking about 120 centimeter. Are you getting me now? And they lack paired fins. I think I've talked about that before. Adult lamprey have one nostril in the head and 7 gill pores on each side of the head. And the brain of the lamprey is divided into telencephalon, diencephalon, midbrain, cerebellum, and the medulla. Now, the head of lampreys is not clearly differentiated from the body. So this is a lamprey. They are eel-like. They are elongated. Can you see? They are elongated, which means they are eel-like. And can you see that the head is not really separated from the body? They don't really have a separate head from the body. So you cannot distinguish, the head is not clearly differentiated from the body, unlike other fishes. And they have a round mouth, hence the name cyclostome. Let me show you their mouth. So this is their mouth. They have a round mouth. Can you see? They have a round mouth, hence they are called the cyclostome. That is cyclo, which is circular, and stoma, which is what? Which is the mouth. So they have a cyclostome. They are under the other cyclostoma. They call them cyclostomy. You understand? So they have a round mouth. Now the body consists of, let me show you. This is their body, which is eel-like. So the body consists of what? 2 median fins, a caudal fin, and a small anal fin. 2 median fin, a caudal fin, and a small anal fin. You understand? So they have, and it should be noted that they do not have any paired fins. You understand? They do not have any paired fins. Now let us proceed. Lampreys, sometimes, like they are inaccurately called the lamprey ewes, they are a group of jellyfish comprising of the order Petromyzonitiforms, sole order in the class Petromyzonitida. The adult lamprey is characterized by funnel sucking mouths. That is where they got the name cyclostomy. And the name lampreys is probably derived from what? From the Latin word, which is lampreta. And lampreta means what? To lick stone. And I told you that I'll be releasing a video to show that. I'll be showing you how they lick stone and why they lick stone. We'll be talking about that in the next video. Are you getting me now? Though the etymology is not really certain. We don't know if they get the word lampreta from the Greek word or from the Latin word. But lamprey is lamprey, which means what? Which means to lick stone. Are you getting me now? Now, lampreys has been described as the only vertebrate with 4 eyes. They have been described as the only vertebrate with 4 eyes, having a single pair of regular eyes, that is normal eyes, and a well-developed 2, which is a pair of parietal eyes, where one is a pineal eye and the other one is a what? Is a parapineal eye. You understand? Well, one is a what? A pineal eye, and the other one is a parapineal eye. So they have 2 well-developed eyes. They have a pineal eye, which is light sensitive, and this pineal eye is located at the dorsal surface of the head. Are you getting me now? Now, anterior to the pineal eye, they have a nostril, a single nostril, not a paired nostril, a single nostril, and the eyes of the juvenile lamprey are poorly developed. It is somewhat eye spots, just like we have in the euglena and the stuff. So it's like eye spots. So we can call them a blind larva. You understand? They develop to be blind because they don't have a well-developed eyes. You understand? In the larva stage. Are you getting me now? But the eyes in adult lamprey is well developed. Are you getting me now? The eyes in the adult lamprey is well developed. The buccal cavity is anterior to the gonads. The buccal cavity is anterior. It is found in front of the gonads. I'll be showing you in the video that I will be releasing next. And this buccal cavity is responsible for attaching the animals through suction. When we say suction, to suck something, you understand? They attach to a fish and they suck out the blood, which we'll be talking about in this video. Now, it is responsible for attaching to either stone or its prey. And when you say prey, it means what? They are parasites. So they are active blood-sucking parasites. I get me now. They are active blood-sucking parasites. This then allows the tongue, which is the buccal cavity, allows the tongue to make contact with the stone, to wrap algae, or to tear at the flesh of their prey, which is used for yielding blood. Which means the purpose of licking stone is to scrape off the encrusted algae from the what? From the stone, you understand? Because they are found at the bottom of the ocean, and there are algae in the bottom of the ocean. So, and algae are like plants. They are plants, you understand? They are in the kingdom Plantae, and we know that plants have a lot of nutrients which these animals will need. So they need what? They need this stone they use this stone to encrust, to remove the encrusted algae, you understand? They remove the encrusted algae from the stone, which and give them some nutrients. And they also use their mouth to attach to their prey, you understand? They use it for attaching to their prey in order to suck blood. So they are active blood-sucking vertebrates, you understand? Now, this is their mouth. The reason why they call them cyclostoma. Can you see that their mouth is full of teeth? And this is their tongue around this place. And even the tongue also has its teeth. Can you see? The tongue also has its own teeth. So this is the tongue. Even the tongue also has its teeth. And what is the function of the teeth in the tongue? It is to pierce. Once this one is used for attachment. This one is used for piercing into the body of their prey. So they wraps the tongue into the what? They wraps the tongue to make a mark on the body of their prey so that they can suck blood. You understand? So that is the function of the what? The function of the mouth. Now, their skin is grayish, soft, and slimy, and it is without scales. So this is how they look like. Look at it. This is how they look like. So their gill is what? Their skin is somewhat grayish, it is soft, and it is slimy. Are you getting me now? Now, the epidermis of these animals is 1 cell thick. 1 cell thick. Are you getting me now? It is 1 cell thick, which contain numerous gland-like mucus. You understand? Numerous gland cells, rather. Numerous gland cells known as the what? Known as the mucus. The mucus. Are you getting me now? Now, they have gland cells and they have cloak cells. The inner dermis, the epidermis is found in the outer layer and the inner dermis, but the inner dermis is thinner than the epidermis. The dermis is thinner than the epidermis, and this dermis, it contains something we know as the chromatophore. And this chromatophore gives the lamprey its characteristic color. Are you getting me now? So look at it. This is a lamprey. I want to show an image of a lamprey. I don't think I have it here. So this chromatophore that is present in the dermis give it its characteristic color, and the mucus that I said is present, the mucus which is present produce a slimy material which produce something like a slime. You understand? Produce something like a slime which makes the body to be slippery. So no fish or any other predators can feed on lampreys because what? Because their body is slimy, and it prevents the body from being infected by bacteria or fungi or other parasites to grow. Because it is slimy, they can't stay on the surface of their skin. You understand? So this is the what? This is the body form of the lamprey. Like I said, they have a dorsal fin, right? They have a caudal fin, and they have the anal fin. You understand? So this is their tail. They are elongated, which is eel-like structure. They have a cloacal aperture here. The body is separated into the what? Into the head and the trunk and the laterally flattened tail. So they have the what? They have the head, they have the trunk, and they have a laterally flattened what? The laterally flattened tail. You understand? And they are characterized by what? By having a depression. Look at it. They have a depression around their head where the mouth is located. So the mouth is located at the what? At the dorsal of their this thing, you understand? It is located at the downward part of their head, you understand? So that is why I call it a depression. Are you getting me now? And they have an eye. Look at it. This is an eye, a well-developed eye, and they have gills. Look at it. These are gills. 7 gill slits. Let us count this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they are 7. They have 7 gill slits. You understand? Gill opening, and they have a single nostril. You understand? They have a single nostril. So this is the structure of a typical lamprey. You understand? Now let us now go to their skeleton. Let us move to their skeleton. So this is the skeletal material of a typical petromyzon, and we know a typical petromyzon is what? Is a lamprey. Now let us now talk about that. Their skeleton is cartilaginous. Is cartilaginous. They are not having what? Cartilaginous. Cartilaginous. There are no bones. And it consists of, let us say the first one, that is the cranium, which is found on the head, the nasal capsule, and the orbital cartilage, which is found in the eyes. Orbital cartilage. That is the first skeletal material that they have. Orbital cartilage. So they have the cranium, which is found in the head surrounding the brain, the nasal capsule, which is found in the nose, and the orbital cartilage, which is found in the eye. That's the first one. Now they have a notochord, and the notochord has axial skeleton. You understand? It has axial skeleton, which means notochord is still prominent. Are you getting me now? Notochord is still persisting in the lampreys. You understand? The third thing that they have is the branchial plates. They have the branchial plates, and we know where we hear the word branchial, it means the plate that is surrounding the word, that is surrounding the gills, that is supporting the gills. You understand? And the gills cartilage surrounding the word, the buccal funnel. So the fourth one that they possess is the lingual cartilage. That's the fourth one. Lingual cartilage. That is found in the what? Cartilage that is found in the tongue. So these are the cartilage that they possess. You understand? So this is what they are trying to show here as well. This is what they are trying to show here. We have the what? We have the lingual cartilage. Can you see the lingual cartilage here? I'm trying to look for the other one. That's the otic capsule, olfactory capsule. I'm looking for the cartilage that are here. But let us just proceed. Now, these animals, they move by sinusoidal movements, because now we are talking about their skeleton and the what? The skeleton and the their locomotion. I get me now. They move by sinusoidal movements because the notochord provide axial rigidity. I get me now. Now, the animals are ectoparasites. The mouth is suctoral. I think we have talked about the mouth. The mouth is suctoral, which means they use it for what? They use it for sucking blood. They have no jaw, but they have something known as the buccal funnel. I get me now. The esophagus and the respiratory diverticulum is separated. They are separate. The esophagus and the respiratory diverticulum are separate. But the esophagus leads directly to the what? It leads directly to the esophagus, leads directly to the intestine. Hence, they have no what? They have no stomach. Are you getting me now? They have no stomach. But the intestine is short. The intestine is short, and they have a longitudinal spiral valve, which increase the surface area for absorption. Like I said, the tongue of lampreys is armed with teeth. Can you see something like this here? We have the tongue. Their tongue is armed with teeth. They have no pancreas, no gallbladder, and there is no bile duct. I get me now. Now, the attachment to their host fish is by their suctoral mouth. So look at it. This is a lamprey attaching to the what? Attaching to its prey. You understand? This is a lamprey attaching, and they use their what? They use their suctoral mouth to attach to the what? To attach to their prey. And they have sequence of feeding. How do they feed? There is how they feed. Are you getting me now? Now, look at it. This is also a lamprey attaching to a fish. Can you see? Now, the first thing that they do is attachment with their suctoral mouth. So let me write it here. Attachment with their suctoral mouth. That's the first thing. Attachment with their suctoral mouth. The second thing is wrapping of the tissue with their honey tongue. So the second thing is wrapping or rasping of the tissue with their what? With their suctoral tongue, with their honey tongue, which creates a hole in the body of what? In the body of their prey. The third thing is production of anticoagulants. Anticoagulants. That is the third thing. So this anticoagulant is lamprey. Now, this anticoagulant prevents the blood from clotting so that they can suck the blood just like the way it is. You understand? And the fourth thing is sucking of the blood out of the tissue. That is the fourth thing. Sucking of the blood out of the tissue. You understand? Sucking out the tissue and the blood, rather. Sucking out the tissue and the blood. So the first thing is what? Is attachment. The second thing is rasping. The third thing is production of anticoagulants. And the fourth thing is what? The fourth thing is sucking. So I acronym it as what? ARAS. That is attachment, rasping, anticoagulants, and what? And sucking. So this is the what? This is the sequence of their feeding. I get me now. This is the sequence of their feeding. So the first thing is they attach to their host. The second thing is they use their tongue, their honey tongue to wrap so as to create a hole. The third thing is what? Anticoagulant, secretion of anticoagulant, which is lamprey. And the fourth thing is what? They now suck. I get me now. Now, talking about their talking about their excretion. Excretion is by a pair of kidney and not by nephrida as it is found in what? As it is found in amphiusus. You understand? Now, remember that I mentioned that mostly in agnathans they have what? They have two-chambered heart. But in this case, they might have a three-chambered heart, which is a S-shaped heart. S-shaped heart, because the circulatory system is built on the same plant as the amphiusus. You understand? As the amphiusus, and their excretion is a pair of kidney, not by a nephrida. You understand? Now, the central nervous system is built on the same plan as all other vertebrates. I get me now. They have a special sense organ, and their special sense organ includes the nose, which is found in the nostril, the eyes. You understand? And the pineal eyes as well, which is the regular eyes and the pineal eyes. And they have a what? They have a brain. You understand? Which is they have a central nervous system. Now, what is the function of the pineal eye? It is for sensing light, so it is used for light sensation. Now, the animal body has a photoreceptor in their skin, which is what? Which is also they have a photoreceptor on their skin, which is also used for what? For sensing light. They now have internal ear. They have internal ear, which consists of only two semicircular canals, unlike other vertebrates that has three semicircular canals. They have only two semicircular canals in their own what? In their own ears. You understand? Now, moving on to their reproduction. So the sexes are separate, which means they have male and female, so they are not hermaphrodites. The first thing that they do is what? They migrate. Look at it. They migrate. What is it? They migrate from the what? From the sea to the lake or the fresh water. You understand? So look at it. Emigration to the lake around September or May. We are not really concerned about the dates, but we just know that they migrate from the what? They migrate from the sea to the what? To the fresh water, like a lake, which I'll be showing in the next video. Now, during this time of their migration, they don't feed. You understand? During this time of migration, they don't feed. They depend on the fat that is accumulated in their muzzle. I get me now. Now, once they get to the what? Once they get to the fresh water, which they want to like use for reproduction, they spawn. Spawn means they have sexual reproduction. You understand? They spawn, and immediately after spawning, they die. So we can say that they spawn only once. Are you getting me now? They spawn. Their spawning is only once. The male and the female build a nest. Are you getting me now? Build a nest using a what? Using gravels and stone. Look at it. Using gravels and stone, they build a nest. Are you getting me now? There is a short courtship. Once they have a short courtship, they shed out the gametes into the water, which the female shedding out the egg and the male shedding out the what? Shedding out the sperm. You understand? Then the fertilization occurs. Now, once the fertilization occurs, the egg is then deposited in the nest that they have created. Are you getting me now? So after spawning, the parents they separate and they die after spawning. Are you getting me now? Which means their own spawning is only once. Now, the zygotes now develop into an ammocyte larva. You understand? It develops into an ammocyte larva after the egg has been hatched. It develops into an ammocyte larva. You understand? Now, this ammocyte larva is characterized by a poorly developed eyes. So they don't have a well-developed eyes. But what they do is that they burrow into the mud. They burrow into the mud. Look at it. Worm-like larva. They burrow into the what? They burrow into the mud for up to like 6 years. And what they feed on is the what? Is the particles that is present in the water, that is present in the soil. You understand? The particles that is present in the soil. Now, after then, metamorphosis occurs. Are you getting me now? They develop into a what? Into an adult lamprey. Once they develop into an adult lamprey, they migrate from the what? They migrate from the can you see? I said after spawning they die. You understand? So the adult dies, and the larva stage they develop inside the what? They develop inside the mud. You understand? They develop inside the mud. Then after they have fully developed, they now migrate back to the sea. And once they migrate back to the sea, they develop into a fully carnivorous lamprey, a fully carnivorous sea lampreys. You understand? Now, the larva is different from the adults. The larva is quite different from the adults, used by these particular reasons. Number one, they are worm-like in appearance. They look like a worm. So let me write it here. Worm-like appearance. They look like a worm. The second thing is continuous dorsal fin. Continuous dorsal fin. Their fin is not broken. The third thing is teeth and tongue are absent. Teeth and tongue are absent. The third thing is the upper tip of the semicircular canals. They have upper tip of semicircular canals, unlike the buccal lip of the adults. Are you getting me now? And the third thing is buccal tentacles is present. Buccal tentacles are present in what? In the larva sea lamprey. You understand? So we are talking about their differences. So this is their differences. This is their differences. What about their similarities? Their similarities is that they both live in the mud, which means both of them burrow into the mud. They are ciliary feeders, you understand, and they possess endostyle. Both of them possess endostyle. The third thing is that what? Okay, I think that those are the two that I can get from this place, you understand. Now, so let us talk about the primitive features of the Agnathans. We have talked about the similarities, the differences, the biology of Agnathans. We have talked about it. But there are now some primitive features of Agnathans. The primitive features of Agnathans, because we have used lamprey as the what? As the as the representative. So let us talk about the primitive features of Agnathans. What are the things that they possess that make them to be primitive? The first thing, they have no jaw. You understand? So they cannot feed on large amount of food. You understand now? The second thing, they do not have a paired fins or a paired girdles. That's the second thing. The third thing, they have no scale, which means they have no dermal skeleton. You understand? The fourth thing is the notochord persists in adults. Instead of the vertebral column that is found in other vertebrates, they have notochord. You understand? The third thing is there is no special genital duct. So these are the primitive features of Agnathans. You understand? These are the formative features of what? Of agnathans. They have no jaw, they do not have paired fins, they have no scales, the notochord persists in adults, and there is no special genital ducts. You understand? So that is what we have there. Now, you have to note that they must osmoregulate, which means they must regulate the amount of water that they lost in their body. What they do is that they suck in large amount of water and they actively pump out the salt through their gills. You understand? That is why the adults move from the what? Move from the sea water to the fresh water, because they know that the larva, which is the young ones, they don't have a powerful gills to pump out enough salt if they suck in water. That's the reason why they have to move from what? They have to move from the sea to the fresh water where there is no distance. So once they are fully developed and the gills has been fully developed, they can respirate. That is when they will now move from the what? From the fresh water back to the sea water. And this is all about the Infra-phylum Agnathans, which is we are using biology of lamprey, which we are using lamprey, which is a cyclostomi, as the what? As the representative. So in the next video, I will be emphasizing on what? On the locomotion, the spawning, and other stuff like that, which I'll be showing you a video of how they do all these things. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let us build this channel together, and without you we can't do all this stuff like this. Thank you so much.